100 Sayings of Confucius that Guide Your Life. Here is one of Confucius's sayings: "It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop." In a few words, Confucius teaches us about patience, perseverance, discipline, and hard work. But if you probe further, you will see more layers. Confucius's philosophies, which are similar to humanist thought, have significantly influenced spiritual and social thought. His views bear insight and depth of wisdom. You can apply his teachings in every sphere of life. Confucian proverbs have the power to transform lives, but they are not for casual reading. When you read them once, you feel the power of his words. Read twice, and you will appreciate his deep thought. Read them over and over again, and you will be enlightened. Let these Confucian quotes guide you in life. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. Act with kindness but do not expect gratitude. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. Virtuous people often revenge themselves for the constraints to which they submit by the boredom which they inspire. He who acts with a constant view to his own advantage will be much murmured against. The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognize the ability that he has. To be wrong does nothing, unless you continue to remember it. Worry not that no one knows you seek to be worth knowing. I slept and dreamt life as beauty, I woke and found life as duty. Think of tomorrow, the past can't be mended. Respect yourself and others will respect you. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart. The essence of knowledge is, having it, to use it. Fine words and an insinuating appearance are seldom associated with true virtue. To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon and star. Study the past if you would define the future. Never contract friendship with a man that is not better than thyself. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. Those who cannot forgive others break the bridge over which they themselves must pass. Those who know the truth are not equal to those who love it. The superior man thinks always of virtue, the common man thinks of comfort. Learn as if you were not reaching your goal and as though you were scared of missing it. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his action. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. Your life is what your thoughts make it. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. When you see a good person, think of becoming like them. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. All people are the same, only their habits differ. Learn avidly, question it repeatedly, analyze it carefully, then put what you have learned into practice intelligently. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation there is sure to be failure. The superior man does not act contrary to virtue, even for the space of a single meal. In moments of haste, he cleaves to it. In seasons of danger, he cleaves to it. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Go before the people with your example, and be laborious in their affairs. The journey with 1,000 miles begins with one step. An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. You are what you think. Looking at small advantages prevents great affairs from being accomplished. The superior man makes the difficulty to be overcome his first interest, success only comes later. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short. When we see persons of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see persons of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. A superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. They must often change who would remain constant in happiness and wisdom. Be strict with yourself but least reproachful of others, and complaint is kept afar. When anger rises, think of the consequences. If you think in terms of a year, plant a seed; if in terms of 10 years, plant trees; and if in terms of 100 years, teach the people. If you look into your own heart, and you find nothing wrong there, what is there to worry about? What is there to fear? It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. To see what is right and not to do it, is want of courage or of principle. The object of the superior man is truth. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. If we don't know life, how can we know death? The expectations of life depend upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. I want you to be everything that's you, deep at the center of your being. Roads were made for journeys, not destinations. No matter how busy you think you are, you must find time for reading or surrender yourself to self-chosen ignorance. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. There are 3 methods to gaining wisdom. The first is a reflection, which is the highest. The second is a limitation, which is the easiest. The third is experience, which is the bitterest. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. Death and life have their determined appointments, riches and honors depend upon heaven. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? You cannot open a book without learning something. When a person should be spoken with, and you don't speak with them, you lose them. When a person shouldn't be spoken with and you speak to them, you waste your breath. The wise do not lose people, nor do they waste their breath. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Give a bowl of rice to a man and you will feed him for a day. Teach him how to grow his own rice and you will save his life. One joy dispels 100 cares. Study the past, if you would divine the future. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your own doorstep is unclean. A lion chased me up a tree, and I greatly enjoyed the view from the top. Be not ashamed of mistakes and thus make them crimes. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. A person who chases 2 rabbits catches neither. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the 3 universally recognized moral qualities of men. Forget injuries, never forget kindnesses. Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. Good people strengthen themselves ceaselessly.